Hey, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of Chaos Chronicles. If you are new here, I'm Dusty. This is my co-pilot Jordyn, and we discuss all things Star Wars and Marvel universes for you guys, Disney in general. And we're here to discuss all things for the entire series, the Star Wars series, Tales of the Empire. We're here to discuss the whole 6 episodes in one go.
Because
We've never seen it before. I'm surprised neither of us have seen this before.
and especially going into Star Wars Celebration, we thought it would be a nice way to hype ourselves up.
And get ready for what is going to be crazy with Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, if you guys don't already know, I will be going live every night after the show floor with everything, breaking down the announcements, etc. And Dusty will probably be joining me a little bit, but work schedules, and it's Japan.
Yes, for the day one, I'll probably be out until later, probably towards the end. But Saturday and Sunday, I will be there as much as I can. We are going to go live and discuss all things that are happening during that time and that weekend for Celebration. It's very exciting. What are your thoughts of what's going to happen? What are we going to see? What's going to get released to us? Please let us know. What do you think?
Maybe they'll give us an extended trailer of Andor. I'm not 100% sure if they will or not, just because Andor is literally next on the docket.
Literally, quite actually.
Within days. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if a certain panel was to get to see the episodes before. Like, kind of like what they did in Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, where Obi-Wan came out around that same time, and they got to see the first 2 episodes before the actual public. So I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't happen, but I'm hoping for Ahsoka season 2 news, maybe an actual trailer for Grogu and the Mandalorian. I know there's a trailer floating about, but I'm not 100% sure if it's actually legit or fan made. Definitely we'll probably see in the games front, maybe the sequel to Jedi Survivor. But what I find really interesting is it's not a lot of like actors going to be there. It's more producers and directors.
Right. I thought the same thing because we were both looking at who's going to be there, and not many actors from Star Wars universe
And
will be there.
Yeah, and if you look at past celebrations, they've been pretty jam-packed with guests. So I don't really know what to expect.
Yes, it's kind of odd to me.
I know
Go ahead.
I know of a bunch of influencers that have already touched down in Tokyo for it.
Oh, wow.
So I know Blake's Pop Nook got the invite, and I believe he's already flown out. And I know there is another podcast that I watch, Princess and Scoundrel. They've been in Tokyo for a few days now. So
That's crazy that they're already coming in.
I mean, I get it. And I get it for the sheer fact that, like, Celebration is fast-paced. And I don't know if I would want to go into Celebration somewhere with such a time difference without at least trying to be on the time zone, because
Right. You gotta adjust yourself for a couple days.
yeah, that jet lag is real. So
I get it too. And plus it's Japan. Like, I would want to go days earlier to do whatever I wanted outside of the event.
right, because there's a ton to do out there. So
So
I
much.
get it. I get it, but I was surprised it was this soon, but you know, it starts Friday, so I guess
They're probably doing their own thing, like you said, getting adjusted to the time zone.
checking out those cool Pokemon stores,
Oh,
exploring Shinzaka, like, I get it.
I would need to have a whole suitcase for Pokemon content and stuff that I
Oh,
got from
no.
Japan. I, if you don't know, people,
Uh,
I love that's my favorite game ever. Like I love Pokemon. So
I know when I go to Tokyo, I'm bringing multiple suitcases.
get them now.
But
Get them now.
not only am I doing that, I plan on actually bringing vacuum seal bags.
Oh, yep, and yep. That's smart. I never even thought of that. That's so
Such
smart.
if I'm buying plush, like, especially because I have my heart set on this ridiculous Mickey Mouse shaped hamburger, and, like, it's not a small pillow, so we're gonna suction cup it down.
I'm dead at this, but that is such a great idea.
I won't be around walking around with, like, carrying so many suitcases, no. One
Mm-mm.
big one and my carry-on and vacuum seal bags, and then if I need to, I'll probably buy another one.
Right. And that's fair. And that's fair. But
But
that's
it's
for
the
another time.
merch.
Yeah, the merch. But we're getting distracted. Let's get back on track with the Tales of the Empire.
But on
Let's get
top of
into it.
that, with, like, the Star Wars of it all the goodies you want that you're gonna find at Celebration, you want a vacuum seal too.
True. True.
So,
I
it's
want
a
to
win-win.
it is. But let's get right into this with discussing the episodes. So how did we feel? How did we feel about this series that we both didn't even know was a thing, by the way?
Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. I thought I knew it was a thing, like, if I'm being honest. It vaguely reminded me that it was a thing, but, like, overall, I really enjoyed it. Um, we're not there yet, but the cliffhanger of it all at the end of the last episode.
Don't even get me started yet because I will get started.
But it was also kind of nice to we've seen Morgan Elsbeth in live action already, so it was kinda nice to get a little bit more of her backstory because, truthfully, I wasn't really sure who she was. Like, I didn't remember her as a character so much, and then I remember, like, seeing her show up in Mandalorian. I believe the episode was The Jedi. It was Ahsoka's first live action appearance.
It was, yes.
I was like, "Who is this chick?" So, it was kind of nice to get a little bit more information on why she is the way that she is, and I definitely feel like it gives off that we're definitely not gonna see the end of her,
No.
and I'm just curious to see where she's going as a character.
Me too. Me too. Which, if you don't know how the Tales of the Empire episodes work, the first three episodes are of Morgan Elsbeth, and we start out in episode one with a young version of her, and then we go all the way to what we've seen on live action of that episode of The Mandalorian when we saw Ahsoka. It's on that planet, that very location that she's at hits in this series. And then the last three episodes are about Barriss Offee, and then she is in prison for when she got arrested during the Clone Wars. And then we see her kind of have an interesting arc, but we'll get to that later. So episode one was actually started off pretty great. It started off so good right off the bat with we see the oh no, the group of sisters, the witch sisters, the dark sisters, the oh no, the sisters, you know who I'm talking about. The sisters. We see the sisters. I'm going to say that and Jordan's going to jump in and help me. I'm dying.
They fuck, I can't remember. Those ladies, it was kind of like they were like a cross between a nun, but
No,
it
not
was
the
also
ladies. Not the very, very
oh,
beginning.
the sisters of Dathomir.
Yeah, there. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
That they're like ninth sisters or whatever.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Hmm.
Yeah, there's something.
Well, we see them right off the bat getting attacked by General Grievous, which was weird to us. We didn't understand
Yeah.
why Grievous was even there, to be honest.
Why was Grievous on Dathomir?
Why was he? And it's so Grievous is a weird character anyway, because like you said, why aren't now we all know that Grievous steals the lightsabers of the Jedi he kills and uses them, but why aren't they red? Wouldn't they be? Or is it because he's a droid essentially that he
I'm
doesn't have
thinking maybe he
emotion?
doesn't have the power to lead them.
Right. Well, doesn't it isn't it purely based on emotions? Do
Yeah,
droids have emotions? You know what I mean? Like do they have true emotions? They can have reactions.
they that is something that I'm not 100% sure because I feel like yeah, they have reactions to things.
Mhm.
But if you look at droids like R2, he seems to be feeling things.
Right. It's a very weird concept and a very I actually never thought about it until now. But yeah,
Are
I
they
wonder if the
synthetic reactions?
exactly.
Because he's not
'Cause
the only droid that acts like
C3PO also gives like he feels things too, mostly fear if we're being honest. But
BB-8 kind of
yeah,
also seems to have them.
right.
And let's not forget our favorite war criminal, Chopper.
True, true,
Chopper
fair.
is very opinionated and
Chopper sassy.
oh, I love Chopper sass.
I
Chopper
I
sass is like top notch.
I love that cast in general and that crew in general. It is so good. And that's beyond the
So,
point. So I'm wondering if Grievous doesn't have genuine emotion so that he doesn't end up bleeding the lightsabers that he uses. And I'm curious to know who's he's using in the show because at one point he uses Ahsoka's lightsaber because he stole it
yeah,
from her. He uses Eth Kos because he also stole it, but they both were retrieved. And he uses someone else's that I can't remember off the top of my head right now that he actually did end up killing, but it got retrieved back from Kit Fisto. Took it back, so I don't know whose lightsabers he's using in this show,
it's
but
kind of like he has like he goes into the drawer and decides what lightsaber of the days.
right, honestly, I'm assuming Grievous has killed many of Jedi at
Because
this
they're
point.
very trophy.
Hmm.
In that sense, they're very like a trophy item for him.
Oh, definitely, they always have been. Yeah,
So
it's something. Grievous is no fucking no joke, as we see in this episode, because he is killing these girls, these sisters, left and right.
and how is he I know he's a droid, but these are the witches of Dathomir. How are you actually destroying them?
Not even that, not even just destroying them, but we see him actually murder Morgan Elbis's mother in front of her quickly and easily. It was like butter.
Which really gave her like you could see it in her eye. That's where like she wants revenge.
And if, yeah, she definitely wanted revenge, and that's kind of where we see Morgan El Elsbeth and her like mental change. Like I don't understand her character. She's kind of a bitch, but
They kind of gave like those nun-like ladies kind of were trying to like offer her
like,
safety.
yeah,
You're safe, come with us. Whereas she didn't really she didn't take the offer. Instead,
No.
she thought, "Oh, here, let's go recruit."
Yeah, the ladies, we don't know who these ladies are, by the way. We were both discussing these like nun-looking ladies,
They kind of reminded me of
spiritual
the
ladies.
ladies from Ahsoka, the season finale. It was season finale, right?
Was it? I do not genuinely remember, if I'm being
It
so
was one of
honest.
the last episodes of Ahsoka. I know that.
Right.
They on I want to say the planet was, I don't remember the planet name. The place that Ahsoka is currently trapped on. Um they were kind of giving those ladies,
Right.
but I'm not sure if it actually was, even though they kind of look similar.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we
then
don't know.
these spiritual ladies, where are they getting all their power? Because clearly they have power.
Yeah, definitely. As we've seen it
That
towards the
old
end of the
lady.
episode. Yeah, the older lady, the one that looks like the main lady,
Yep,
the
yep.
one that's she kind of comes in and does some magic crazy work that's giving, I don't even know what level. I've never seen it in Star Wars, that level of magic she was using.
Right.
But she came in and wiped out some droids on the quicks.
And it was fast.
It was so fast.
And
And she kept standing after, which I was
yeah,
convinced she was going to fall and like kind of like either die because she
be
used too
like
much magic.
drained.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but she didn't. She stood on her feet, peeps. She did.
And she was like, "Come with me now."
Hmm.
And then the other thing we noticed too, like Morgan took the blades of her mom's.
Yeah,
Those
we
like
did see that.
katanas of some sort.
Well, were they her mothers? Because didn't her mothers get like sliced in half when her mother died?
I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is Morgan didn't seem to know how to power it up.
No, she did not. Not at all. She never did. Confirmed. But it
So,
it was a very good okay, so these 3 episodes as a whole, the first 3 really kind of fill in the blanks that we know of her that we needed,
and
I
we
think.
know, we kind of found out why, like
Mhm.
what she was truly doing on that planet that Ahsoka had definitely found her on.
Mhm. Yep.
And then we see a face that I didn't expect to see.
Yep. Mhm. And did. Come on.
Grand Admiral Thrawn.
A young
He was
Grand
very
Admiral
young.
Thrawn. Yeah, he was very, very young. Yes, we see him appear on the planet that Morgan now is basically on still now, I think, to this day.
Well, now she's on that planet. Oh, no, because she left with him, right?
Hmm.
Okay. I wonder if that's where their head base is going to be.
This planet,
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no one really comes and helps this planet out, but they're in desperate need of it, desperate, dire need of help. Because
Rescue them.
Morgan's um reign on this planet is not doing the civilians good at all. As we see in the episodes here, that we have a general that came from this planet, or admiral. What was she? Oh God,
I don't remember exactly what she was.
she was something in the government.
Yeah, yeah.
But we didn't take, we
It,
just
it
finished the
was
episodes, by the way.
giving Senate.
Yeah, she was in the Senate for sure. We just finished these episodes like less than an hour ago, guys. So just hear us out on
They're
that.
fresh in the mind, and
They're fresh
yet
in the mind.
they're not fresh in the mind.
They're fresh in the mind, but we are in our 30s and our brain cells don't know how to brain cell. Anyways,
Brain
brain
isn't
cells,
working.
we don't have them, baby. Yep. Anyway, So, yes, we do get someone in the Senate that comes from the planet. She was originally on the planet.
Yeah.
She comes to try to help the planet because this isn't a point where we're starting to see change in the galaxy. She's trying to help the planet and talk to Morgan Elsbeth, but that goes completely
Sideways.
sideways to garbage, which the civilians had told her that it was going to, but she went and tried anyway.
Right.
It got her ass killed, and now
She
this.
was pretty too.
I,
Like, I don't know what species she was,
I
but
don't
she was,
either.
I hate to say this, but she was kind of reminding me of the head alien lady from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh no, literally,
They
kind
they
of,
had the
kind of.
same head shape.
Kind of, yeah. I don't know what species
The
she is
Stitch
either.
canon.
Wait, this is something. No, I would actually be mad. No, no, no.
That would be so funny.
That would be so funny, but I don't know. Disney throws in these species in these shows, these animated shows that I've never seen before or heard about before. So we don't even know if they're like canon or not.
But she had this like pretty blue texture to her.
Miss
As a
Ma'am.
special effects makeup artist, I really appreciate a good alien.
She was really pretty, and I do want to Google what species she was. Disney, we know how Disney is. They like to do whatever they want.
Oh,
So,
Disney.
so we will. I'm gonna look it up after this.
Wherefore art thou,
But yeah, she was really
strange
pretty.
alien?
She was really pretty, and she was really genuinely trying to help. And I don't even know what his name was. I forget. But we see him in the live action. We see him in the animated series now.
Yeah, they really made him look almost identical.
I agree, like for sure. Like,
Like
it was
the
amazing work,
difference in a
animation.
live action him to non-live action him, like animated him. They did this with a lot of the characters, because even Morgan Elsbeth translating into live action looked very similar to the animation.
So, yep, and so
So,
did
like,
a
the
character we
casting
see.
was spot on.
Or did they mimic the physical casting because those characters were already in live action before they became animated? So did
It's
they just
possible.
because there's a similar character that we see in episode 4 that also looks very similar to their live action character. So Lynn looks a lot like her live action character. She's in the
Lynn
Obi-Wan.
doesn't like her name.
It's because she goes by the fourth sister because she's evil.
Pish posh.
Pish posh. She don't go by Lynn. She goes by the fifth sister because every Inquisitor has a number to their brother or sister.
So now we are bleeding into the fact that we are now going through some Barriss Offee.
Mm-hmm. And we love. I mean, I don't love Barriss Offee's character because she confuses the hell out of me. However,
That's what we both said. We were like, what's her end game here? Like, what is truly going on with her?
mm-hmm.
Because we had moments in these 3 episodes,
Yeah,
that she was buying the Inquisitor story.
mm-hmm.
And then we have other moments where she wasn't, where she was giving us more of a gray character.
Right. And even towards the
Like,
end,
not good, not bad, just kind of neutral.
and then towards the end of it, she's giving Jedi. So
Right.
this character's story arc, all in general,
I
already
was on a
before
roller
these.
coaster for the entire 3 episodes where I was like, me, oh, You thought you
Right.
knew. No.
Right, because yeah, the character of Barriss Offee in general confused me anyway. But now we see the story arc of her that we all needed. Don't get me wrong, if you're a Star Wars fan for as long as we have been, Barriss Offee is a character we all really kind of wanted to see more of. At least I did.
Yeah, I did too.
And we get that here, and I hope it transcends to something more.
Right.
But the first episode, we see her come out of jail to help the Inquisitors, which she doesn't really know what that is at this point, with two other friends that she knew in the Jedi Council, or not the Council, the Jedi Order, that we don't know. These characters are random as heck, but they all were friends apparently.
Right.
And she accepts the Inquisitors' roles, but then quickly changes it. It's very odd.
I feel like I kind of understand why she did.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of giving. I know you don't want to. Like, what is the other option? Death. If you want to, like, stay alive, you're gonna do what needs to be done.
Right. Which I don't even know
Which
if she does want
made
to do that.
me wonder, maybe that was her plan all along, that maybe she never was going to, and it was just like a means to an end for her in that
Right.
moment.
Okay, so here's my thought on it, and you can agree or debate this, but when we see her in the duel with the remaining male character that are contendants of the next Inquisitor, she
The, like,
tells
Fight
him,
Club thing.
yeah, the Fight Club,
Yeah.
she tells him that they don't have to do this. But he's the one that persisted to start something and she finished it. So I don't know if she genuinely went in there wanting to do what she had to end up doing. I think she was going to try to get them both out, but he was like he was in the position that you're stating. He was like, it's either die or die, basically. So it's either die or go.
Fight or flight. Yeah.
So
No, I
I don't know.
agree.
I don't know if she really wanted to do what she
But
ended up doing.
when she realized she had no choice, she obviously did it.
Oh, she was quick on it, and she did something that I don't even know where she learned to force choke. That's not something that they
That was
teach you.
hot.
It was crazy. It was crazy because they don't teach you that. And she was she even a knight? She was a Padawan, right?
Yeah.
Where did she learn this? Is my question.
I'm because of the, like, speed difference of how fast everything happened in the episode, I wonder if there was more training with him before that happened.
Maybe.
Because they it just seemed like cut away a little too quick. Like, that fight felt like a shortened version of it.
Yeah, the fight was like what, 2 minutes or less?
Yeah. So, like, I feel like maybe they just didn't have the time to show us that she was I feel like she was there longer than what it felt like in the episode.
Right. Which is fair because the episodes were on it. They were
They were
fast as
fast and
heck.
furious.
They
Like,
we were zooming through these episodes.
which I loved because it didn't I really enjoyed the pacing. Like, it didn't feel like unnecessary. You know how sometimes there's that, like, it feels like unnecessary to the story and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of dragging its feet?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how Spider-Man did at times for us.
Oh God.
So, like, it's the pacing, which is what I really enjoyed, was because it was kind of like a wham bam thank you ma'am, and it wasn't like they didn't spend hours and hours of showing us the fight.
Right. Yeah, I agree fully.
Because Barriss was getting to a point where she was starting. I could tell she was could tell what he was going to do next. So yeah, I feel like the fight sequence, like I think there was she was there longer,
Which is fair with an animated
which is
show.
probably why she seemed to go into that fight with that other dude, where it was like, we don't have to do this. It was kind of like she had a plan in mind.
Yeah, which she definitely did.
So,
And he didn't accept that idea because he was afraid.
right.
Because they were tortured, probably, through this time.
Tortured 100%, yeah.
Which is why, that's why, yeah, they are definitely, because Inquisitors become Inquisitors because they were Jedi originally. All of the Inquisitors, I believe, were Jedi originally, and they were tortured to become Inquisitors. So, yeah, you're probably very right. The training that she went through with the what's his name? The
It
top
was one of the
Inquisitor.
brothers.
He was the Grand Inquisitor.
Him,
She was
yeah.
training with the Grand Inquisitor, and yeah, she was
Which
probably
means
there for
he's
much
seen more.
longer.
To get trained by the Grand Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor seen more in her than that other person.
Oh, of course. But the Grand Inquisitor knows what she did as a Jedi, which was already leaning to a darker spot. So I think he thought in his mind that it would be easy to change her.
Right.
But wasn't the case, because in the very next episode, we see her kind of understand what's actually happening here. Because we see her, she goes to the planet with the fourth sister, Lynn, and they're on there to find a Jedi that's on this planet.
Why is everyone hiding in mountains?
They're hiding in the outskirts of the outskirts and the low of the low. They're hiding where they can.
Because you see it in other like shows too.
I
The
think
mountain.
they're hoping the terrain makes it difficult to be found. I'm not sure. But this character, I don't know if we ever got his name.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did, but he chose a good spot, in my opinion. It's a location where these people have nothing. They literally are in ruins. He went to somewhere where he wouldn't think anyone would look because no one would care.
That planet was giving a little bit of like, I don't think it was, but it was kind of giving Tatooine a little bit. With
If it was
where
Tatooine, ooh.
where that event was like taking place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Tatooine, but just like it was kind of giving Mos Eisley
Mm-hmm.
with like
Okay.
the brickwork.
Yeah, it
And all of
definitely.
that.
I could see that. But yeah, once Barriss Offee saw the Fourth Sister start annihilating the people.
Sister should have suspected something the way that Barriss Offee was not doing anything. She just kind of sat there and watched.
Well, I want to say fifth every time. The Fourth Sister, she was popping off. Once that child told
It was
Barriss
kind of
that
giving temper tantrum.
her whole existence in this 3 episodes, other than the last episode, gave temper tantrum. And the fact she even let that kid live is shocking. I did not think she was going to let that child live.
Yeah, I thought the kid was doomed.
Mm-hmm. Same. And did she leave the kid by itself? Like, is there nobody left?
It seemed like they just like kind of like left the kid there and went towards the mountains.
They did totally leave the kid there,
That
but
kid
is alone with nothing.
Alone with nothing.
That's a death sentence. This kid was like 13, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was a she. I don't remember.
I don't think they specified.
Whichever one. Yeah, it didn't specify, but this child, regardless, was left alone with nothing and possibly nobody
I have
because
nothing.
the Force
Nothing.
Sister killed all of the rest of them.
Yeah, I was honestly, the kids probably would be better off dead.
Honestly, I thought the same, and that's horrible to say, but I genuinely thought the same. They have nothing. They have tarps over
And it
ruined
seemed
buildings.
like like there wasn't much going on that planet.
Nothing.
So like get out.
Right. I'm surprised, honestly, because we see Barriss change here. Because we get to the Jedi. This male Jedi is a good fighter, honestly. Like, kind of a badass
Honestly,
fighter.
that fight on the mountain was
Amazing.
animated so well.
It was such a good fight. This male Jedi put on a fight for both Barriss and the Force Sister. Literally fought them both and literally defeated the Force Sister, honestly.
The one thing I mentioned during the episode, I was like, why is everyone climbing, like, force jump your ass up?
Yeah, no.
There's a quicker way.
Yeah, they were climbing rock by rock. You're both former Jedi. You have force powers. Force
You
jump
can get up
up
there.
that. Yeah, you leap and bounds, baby, leap and bounds. But they climbed up this mountain to meet him, and he was a young Jedi. We never got his name, but he put on a fight. Again, he would have killed the Force Sister if it wasn't for Barriss Offee,
Yeah,
honestly.
they would have.
Yeah, literally. And then we see Barriss change here because Barriss was trying to get this man to what's the word I'm looking for? Turn himself in. That's not the word I was looking for, but that's what we're going with. Turn himself
She
in.
was very middle ground throughout the that's why I'm like more confused than anything.
Well, the theme that I
Like
love.
you know enough to know that like he was fucked either way. Like he's not gonna if he turned himself in, fucked.
She didn't know. I don't think she truly knew it though, because she was under the impression, I think, until this point, that they were there to like get them to turn themselves in. I don't know why she would have thought that, but I think that's what she thought.
The delusion is evident.
Real, exactly, so real. But it changed quickly because the Force Sister ended up slicing into him, and he was barely alive by the time Barriss said the most iconic line ever. You have one more Jedi to deal with, or whatever the line was, something along those
Yeah, I
lines.
was like, oh shush. Oh, okay.
Barriss Offee, that line was
That was
amazing.
baddie energy.
Baddie energy, probably one of my favorite lines that I've heard a character say in a long time in Star Wars universe. It was so good. And the Force Sister was like, "Girl, you want to fight me?" And Barriss was like, "Girl," and pushed the Force Sister right off the cliff. Bye.
Which
Good
is
night.
another thing. Miss Force Sister, how did you survive?
How did she survive that? We both knew she was going to, but how? How? You climbed all you hand to hand climbed rock to rock to rock to rock up this mountain. How did
And
you
it looked
survive?
like sharp ass mountain. Like that rock looked sharp.
Yeah, it did. I didn't get it at all. I was like, what we doing? What we really doing? Because the final episode was an amazing episode, and we get there and we both knew that the Force Sister was going to come around again. So
We're not gonna get rid of that bitch so easily.
nope, and didn't.
Inquisitors are like a cockroach. They're hard to get rid of.
They are hard to get rid of, though. I hated an Inquisitor. Anyways,
I wouldn't mind having the spinning lightsaber. Like
it is a dope lightsaber,
the way
but
you're like,
it is a dope lightsaber.
Come downstairs. We got that guy on the thing that we emailed.
But yeah, it was a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anything else to say aside the ending?
Nope. Outside the ending, which was crazy. Which let's just discuss the ending. We're gonna go right
Let's
to the
speed
end of the
around it.
episode. Yeah, we go to the end. The Force Sister appears. She's looking for this child that's Force sensitive that comes to Barriss Offee because Barriss Offee has totally changed her views now. Barriss Offee is good
Right.
again and pushes this family with their child to Ahsoka. Yeah, we get to the end. The family gets away, and Barriss Offee gets stabbed right by the Force Sister, and kind of has
It's
been
giving
trying to.
Sabine Wren.
She's giving that, and she's also been trying to help the Force Sister kind of come back to reality about things. And the Force Sister says, I will not let you, well, I'll get you out of this cave. And Lynn comes back to reality, and we get left in this episode with Lynn pulling out Barriss Offee. Barriss Offee's barely alive at this point, and we don't know if she's alive now. That's the end. Lynn gets out of this cave that she got stuck in with Barriss Offee's crippling dead body, basically, in her arms. And we don't know what happens. So what do you guys think happens? Does Barriss live? Does Lynn come back from this dark-sided she was on? Let us know, because we don't know
In the
what's happening.
comments.
Yes, let us know.
And we will
But
see you guys
next
next
time,
time.
that is it. Good night. Have a
Bye.
good one.